whoever wants to, I don't care if people use my stuff.
Good to know.
I've been, yeah, I know. Words are flowing out like endless rain into a paper cup as we kick off episode number 90 of the Promo UPFront Podcast. I am one of your hosts, Bill Petrie. With me, as always, the major domo of motion pictures, the one and only Kirby Hasseman. Kirby, how the hell are you today?
Man, I'm doing well. Every once in a while, the number of episodes strikes me. You keep track of that, which I really appreciate. But so when you said it was episode 90, for whatever reason, that really struck me. It's hard to believe we've done 90 in a row of these. So kudos to you for keeping up with that and putting up with me. So I'm doing well, man. How about you?
Well, I'm doing great. Kudos to you for always doing this and putting up with me. I think it's something, it was a dream of ours to do a podcast. We turned it into reality, but distributors are always dreaming about things too, Kirby, and what they're dreaming are advantages, things that are going to help them in the marketplace, especially when it comes to drinkware. And I know you know this. Yeah. How about these dreams, Kirby? Quality, durability, and the option of full 360-degree customization. Well, fake laughter. Your dreams are about to come true, Kirby, when you choose a 20-ounce or 30-ounce stainless steel tumbler from our good pals over at Tervis. That's right. Tervis tumblers, stainless tumblers are manufactured from premium grade copper-lined 18-8 stainless steel, the double wall insulated with a vacuum seal. They're matched with that splash-proof, shatter-proof slider lid made from Triton plastic. Keeps ice cold for 24 hours. Your drink's piping, scorching hot for 8 hours without the abominable price. And you have that Tervis limited lifetime warranty. And I know, Kirby, you're a big Tervis fan from way back when. I know you love these glasses as much as I do.
Yeah. Well, you mentioned quality. I mean, that's the thing that strikes me. And the other thing is, it's one of the advantages to marketing with brands in branded merchandise is that your customers understand that they're quality too. You're not going to have to spend a lot of time selling them on the quality of a Tervis tumbler because they already know they're seeing them in retail.
Right.
Yeah. So, and the decorations is awesome.
Well, and I'm holding one right now for people watching on video. It is full 360 degree. I've dropped this thing 7,000 times. I've literally had this Tervis tumbler for probably 6 years, seriously, or 5 years. So no joke, they last. And Kirby, I really couldn't have said it better myself. Honestly, everything we just said should be enough for anyone to just pause the podcast and go right now to tervispromos.com. It should be enough. But wait, there's more. That's right, kids. If we want to flood them with orders, what we want to do is in Q2, they're running a great special. And I love that Tervis does this. Q2 running a special for both the 20-ounce and 30-ounce stainless steel tumblers. They're available at below EQP. Wow. That should be enough, right? Orders should be flying in right now. But Kirby, wait, please wait. There's more. That's right. No setup charge also, and low minimum order quantity. So honestly, you need to head over to tervispromos.com. This is for the 20-ounce and 30-ounce stainless steel tumbler. You can check out the special offer at tervispromos.com starting April 1st, and that's no fooling. So Kirby, with that, why don't we display a little courage and start this podcast, number 90.
Number 90. That's exciting. All
right. So I've got the upfront section of the podcast, and I thought maybe it's probably a quick one. I don't know if you saw this, but Starbucks is phasing out paper cups in the United States and Canada. Have you seen this, Kirby?
I did not.
So
tell me
their
more.
Goal Kirby, thank you for knowing to ask for me to tell you more. Yeah. The goal is 100% reusable cups for every visit by 2025. Okay. So by the end of 2023, customers will be able to use their own personal reusable cup for every Starbucks in the United States and Canada. And they may even offer up to 50 cents off an order for those who bring their own cup. Now, personally, I love this, but I start thinking of the logistical challenges. And the first one I thought, I'm sure you like this too, right? Do you love the fact that they're getting rid of the paper cups?
Yeah. I actually was struck by the fact that it was going to take till 2025, but maybe when you bring up all the logistical issues, I'll think differently.
Well, the first thing I thought of was pricing.
Yeah.
You have to have some sort of standardization.
Right.
First of all, for cleanliness and hygiene, right? I mean, they're not that you have to make sure that the equipment they use to fill your cup with coffee, the vessel is clean. But I don't know how you price. Do you price by the ounce now? Or do you say we're only going to take these type of tumblers or this size of tumbler? Or maybe, what if I bring in, I don't know, maybe my 30-ounce stainless steel Tervis tumbler that I just got for very low, below EQP and low minimum order quantities, and without a setup charge.
Right.
So, I mean, I don't know how they're going to price that. I think that's something. And the other thing I thought of too, because I do love this, and I think there's ways around these logistical issues. Is that going to lead to slower service? Because
I don't know that that's possible at Starbucks.
It's already too slow.
Oh God! No. I would say a couple of things. Number one, while there are people who are passionate Starbucks fans, and I respect that, I'm not one. So and part of the reason is that I feel like it takes 9 hours. Like by the time I get my coffee, I don't need coffee anymore because it's taken so long. So the idea that it would take it longer, it seems nuts to me. But I think from a pricing perspective, that does make sense. But I don't think it's maybe per ounce. Maybe it's, again, because otherwise it's like, how are you measuring that when you're pouring? But could you do it in between, right? Like, so it's going to be, what do they call it? A venti or a grande or whatever, but between a certain amount of ounces would be this much or whatever. So I do like the idea. I'm actually surprised that it will take them 3 years to implement this. You know what I mean? Like that seems like something, if you wanted to do it, really, you do it by the end of the year. I mean, but maybe I'm wrong.
Well, no, I don't think you're wrong. I think those logistical challenges are part of it. Okay, think about I think about way back when I was at Halo. Okay, one of the challenges Halo had at the time was no order standardization, and we went through a whole process through the bankruptcy of. There were 17 different ways we would accept orders, that Halo would accept orders. So you had customer service people who were entering orders. They had to look in different places for PO numbers and quantities and direct. So it slowed things down from an efficiency perspective. And I see the same challenge here, unless that's why you have small, medium, large, grande, venti. It's so stupid, but whatever. Just small, medium, large kids. It's fine. You're not that Italian. Okay. But I think there has to be some sort of standardization. So I think it's a great opportunity for Starbucks to sell, these are the cups. And then they have to be either 15 ounces, 20 ounces, 16 ounces, 20 ounces, 30 ounces, whatever sizing they need to be. I think it's a real good opportunity for us in the promotional products industry as well to really start talking to our clients about, hey, this is coming. And we're going to pay attention. And when we know what the parameters are, we're going to talk to you, because you're not addicted to Starbucks. Neither am I. But you and I represent the gross minority.
Yes. Yeah, for sure.
I think there's an opportunity there. But I thought it was interesting. Again, I think it's a logistical thing. And plus, I don't think you can have a range of ounces in the pricing. It's got to be exact, or else margins are going to erode. And I don't know how you measure all that. But I think it's interesting. And I do agree with you. 2025 seems like a long time away.
Yeah. Cool.
All right, Kirby, what do you got?
So I'll see your Starbucks and I'll raise you Netflix. So, So I don't know if you've seen this, but Netflix is making a push to bar users from sharing their passwords, right? So outside of the home. I think that's going to affect my children for sure. And so essentially what they're saying is, I just read this morning, that the Wall Street Journal analysis thought that this could increase the company's revenue by 4%, which actually seemed kind of low to me, to be honest with you. Maybe.
Absolutely.
But I think maybe they'll lose some people, and maybe that's the thought process. What do you think? And again, this might be a quick one for us. What is your overall take on this new push from Netflix to kind of ban people sharing their passwords?
I think they have to. I think all the streaming services have to. I mean, that's the leak in the boat, right?
Right.
You sell membership services, and then there's no governor on, they can control how many logins,
Right.
but not who's logging in. I think the real challenge is, because I have kids out of the house too, and I have no problem them using my Netflix passwords and YouTube TV, which we have password and all that. So most of them have a family sharing plan. So I don't know how, they check that.
Yeah, that's going to be weird.
There are people a lot smarter in terms of IT than me that will understand that. Yeah. But I think it's something they have to do. I mean, I don't know about you, but if I'm talking to someone and they say, yeah, there's a show I want to watch on Paramount Plus, I'm like, yeah, you can use my password. I don't care. Exactly. I literally on all my streaming services have Bill, Sandy, Mitch, Drew, and then a profile that says a guest. Whoever wants to, I don't care if people use my stuff.
Good to know.
I've been, yeah, I know. Well, it makes sense. I mean, it just makes sense, but I understand why Netflix is doing it. I'm surprised it's only 4%. That tells me that the technology that they plan on leveraging is not going to be that effective in terms of really, really doing it. I think the big deterrent is we're going to do it. Yeah. Don't break the rule now.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I think it's interesting. So I think your question is exactly what my question is how. Yeah. How are you going to tell me that it's okay for me to use my password when I'm at a hotel on my laptop? How can you tell that's me versus my kids or Joe Schmo? So that'll be the part that I don't understand.
Or your girlfriend or your boyfriend. I mean, I don't know. I think what you have to do is just control number of logins. That's what they ought to do. One login is one price, 2 logins, 3 logins, 4 logins, and then have an astronomical price for 50 logins. Who cares?
Yeah.
All right, Kirby. So we this is one thing we're doing. It's something different, and I don't know how often we're going to do this, but we're going to do it whenever we feel like it. So this is going to be
my favorite amount of times.
It just is something that we thought of to kind of look at the world around us and kind of what would we do. So it's a topic called You're in Charge. And the thought behind this is we're going to take a look at a business we feel is in crisis and we'll explain how they got there, where they're at right now. And then what we would do, the 3 to 5, whatever, how many things we would do immediately if we were appointed CEO and had carte blanche to do whatever we wanted. Okay.
Yep.
So this is something that kind of breaks our format a little bit because we do need to prepare for this. This is something that Kirby and I have talked about for a week. So it's called You're in Charge. And our first company, AMC Theaters, Kirby, AMC Theaters. Now, obviously, during the pandemic, movie theaters suffered. They had to close down. AMC laid off 26,000 people. It's a lot of folks. Now, they've been slowly opening theaters back up, closing theaters. It's kind of been a lot of fits and spurts getting going. But to get people to go back to the theater and feel comfortable going back to the theater, they've done a couple things. They introduced variable pricing, which means they're jacking up pricing for popular movies like The Batman, only by $1 or $2, but they are introducing variable pricing based on not the quality of the movie, the popularity of the movie, or the perceived popularity of the movie. Now, that drove people into the theaters, certainly, because maybe I get a better deal seeing the rom-com my wife wants to see.
Right.
But it trains the audience to weigh price against desire to see a movie. Now, the biggest threat to the movie theaters has been streaming because as you well know, and everybody should know, during the pandemic, there were movies that had been made, but they were released and just sent to streaming services. There was a Marvel movie and even movies like The Batman. It's only the deal Warner Brothers has with HBO Max is a movie will only be in the theaters for 45 days before it hits the streaming service. Wow. Yeah. Okay. So if you want to see, and I'm a believer, there are movies that do need to be seen in that environment. Action movies, absolutely. I love seeing a great comedy in a movie theater because I love communal laughter. There's something very healing about that.
Right.
But then you start weighing the cost of what the movie is, the cost of popcorn and cola of your choosing, and all those things, it gets to be a point. So Kirby, they're dying. I think you would agree that the movie theater business is dying, specifically AMC is dying. Why don't we go back and forth what we would do one and one? That way we can have kind of more of a dialogue on this, and maybe we check some of each other's boxes if you're cool with that.
Yeah.
What would you do as CEO to save the company? Do you want to start?
Sure. So the one thing I would want to say is, can we agree that based on them laying off 26,000 people and they're closing theaters, that they've done a lot of the cost cutting measures? Because as I was thinking about this, I'm like, I have some ideas of cost cutting, but after you lay off 26,000 people, I feel like now it's time to drive revenue.
So let me give a little bit of color. Yes, I think yes, we can operate on that assumption that one of their biggest costs obviously is labor. I think you have to also weigh the fact that labor reduction has also come with a reduction of service. And let me give an example. We went to go see the Batman last Saturday, in the theater. First time I've been to a theater, and I can't remember. And we did the dine-in movie experience. That's kind of, I don't want to go eat. That's cool. They can bring me food. Well, that's all changed now. They don't have enough people to do that. So now they'll make food there, but I have to go to the counter, order it, and they bring it to me in a bag and charged me a $2 delivery fee for the courtesy of that. Okay. So it's a reduction of services that also, with the inflated prices, felt like a ripoff. So for me, Sandy and Drew, Mitch was working, for me, Sandy and Drew to go see the Batman for the movie tickets. She had a hamburger and a Coke. Drew had quesadillas and a Coke, and I had popcorn and a Coke. The entire experience cost us almost $140, Kirby.
Yeah, that
so
is impressive.
I just want to give context to your cost savings. So there's a reduction in services that do go along with it. So I apologize for being a little bit of a windbag there.
No problem. Okay, so I have like a bunch here. So, and some of them are better than others, but I'm going to throw out
Just go one and one. Let's go.
Yeah, the first one that popped into my head, which I don't know if is a good idea. But one of the challenges that popped into my head was, like when I'm watching at home, I can stop. Right, I can hit stop. I can use the restroom. I want to see the Batman. I have not seen it yet, so please no spoilers. But I've been told it's 3 hours long. And I'm like, I won't be able to take a bathroom break. So this is a weird one, but in the theater, they have intermission.
Yep.
So can you build in halfway through a movie an intermission so people can use the restroom?
Okay.
Part of the experience. Again,
I think that's, I agree. When we went to the Batman movie, it's like 3 hours, man. I better take a leak before I sit down and not go too heavy on the cola.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly. That's just an experiential piece.
And I think so. One of the experiential things I thought of, small. You want to create an experience that people can't get at home. Right. That's the whole point of going to the movies. I've got really nice TVs. I'm fortunate enough to have those things. You are too. Most of us are. I've got a sound bar, so the sound's really good. The seating's very comfortable. Like you, I can pause. I can say, what did he just say? And rewind. Oh, someone called you? Hold on just a second. You have that ability. Now, it's not as immersive. So that's something the theaters can give you, that immersive. So I think what you need to do is create that experience that can't be duplicated at home. So I'm thinking smaller theaters, more IMAX experiences. Can't get IMAX at home. But then I thought, wouldn't it be interesting if on select dates in larger theaters, you had maybe before or after a movie, a Q&A with someone associated with the movie.
Yeah.
Okay.
Love that.
Had some, or even signed photos from the cast, or a little mini auction, maybe during the intermission. I love that idea of some memorabilia from the movie. Make it something. I can't get this at home because now going to see Batman, I mean, we walked out of that theater thinking, I will never do that again. That's $140, and I could have waited 9 days for it to hit HBO Max, and I would have been just fine.
Yeah.
So you have to create that experience. So the first thing I do is start tasking a team with, we need to create things that people can't get anywhere else.
Yes.
They have to come here, and they have to want to come here.
Well, and I think that leads nicely into, because you said about the eating piece, and one of the challenges I have in coming up with these suggestions is we have one theater here, and I've been to bigger theaters, but it's a thing for me to go, so I don't go as much. But as I was thinking about it, is adding some sort of bar slash restaurant, maybe you don't need as many. If you have 10 theaters or you have 12 theaters, maybe one of those gets transformed into a bar so that date night can all happen in the theater. So you can have a nice cocktail, you can actually have something to eat and then go to the theater. That was one of, and I think that goes to the idea of doing something that adds to the experience of it.
And they have that here, like in our theater, they have that, but because of the reduction in staff, it's there physically, it's there. They have a little bar, not open right now. They have a restaurant, not open right now. If you want a burger, you got to go up and order it. And they deliver it to your seat in a bag. It's not it's a crappy experience now. So I love that. I think you're 100% right.
Yeah. Cool.
I think you're 100% right. One of the things I thought of, I think it's time to vertically integrate movie theaters.
Okay.
Strategic partnerships with movie studios. Instead of AMC theaters, they should be Disney theaters. And that's the only place you can get Disney related content, whether it's Star Wars, whether it's Disney, whether it's Marvel, whatever. That's the only place you can get it, because now you control distribution from production all the way down to home. So you can say, we're not going to have this on Disney Plus until the movie has run its course, right? I don't know. It seemed like when we were kids, when a movie would drop, it would have a lifespan of 10, 12 weeks in the theater. It would just have those long runs. Now it seems like it's about a month. If you don't see it in a month, man, you got to wait. I mean, it's like, it seems quick. So I think vertically integrating that, like I said, that 45-day grace period, they need to extend that. I mean, I'm sorry. You should make me want to see the Batman. 45 days in my mind goes like that. I think it goes in a snap.
Yeah.
So it should be, if Batman is going to be in the theaters from A to B, and it'll hit HBO Max 6 months later.
Right.
Make people want to go to see that movie in the theater. So I think vertically integrating. So you have Warner Brothers chain. I think that's how you do it. You start really vertically integrating them.
Yeah. So it's so funny. I was saving this, and it was exactly my thing. And I wrote original content. Original content that only can be seen at least for a bit. I was like, why do I have a subscription? Why do you have a subscription to Apple TV? Why?
Ted
Lasso. Ted Lasso, right? Because that's the only place I can see it. And ironically, Ted Lasso is not out right now. I've already seen season 1 and season 2, but yet, like 3 days ago, I paid $4.99 to still have my Apple TV subscription so like original content that you get that is made, and it's exactly what you're saying. And then I wrote as a side note, make Ryan Reynolds a minority owner. Because not only does he then become the star of the movies, but he is a part of your marketing thing. I mean, literally, if I were CEO, I would recruit Ryan Reynolds to be a partner in the business for that very reason.
And maybe that's what I was talking about earlier, is you get the cast involved. You get, I don't know, there's ways to do this. I mean, these things can be saved.
Yes.
But I'm worried that they're not going to. I like that. Do you have another one you want to throw in, since that was kind of similar to mine? We both had the same brain there.
Yeah. So the other one that popped into my head, and I don't know, again, both of these are a little bit outside of my area, but
that's okay.
Partnering with esports. You talk about, renting the entire facility out so that you could have multiplayers on the entire screen at the same time, playing against each other, doing tournaments there.
Like that.
That would be, again, I would need to bring in experts to help me understand how the logistics of that would work. But I would think from an immersive experience, that would be very interesting. And I think it would be a different revenue piece for a theater.
Yeah. So I love that. I love that one. So speaking of revenue streams, one I thought of, get rid of previews. I get rid of the previews. I get very tired of going to the movie. It starts at 3:00 and I got to sit through 25 minutes of previews. Now, as a kid, I loved the previews. Right. Now they only serve to delay getting me to the candy I want, right? I want to see Batman. Don't have it at the end. If people want to stick around to see the end, they might. People did for Marvel movies. I think that's a source of friction. I just want you. We're in an on-demand society. You are now delaying. You're not delivering on your brand promise. You said it was starting at 3:00. It's now starting at 3:25. I don't like that. Now that's a very nitpicky thing. But the other thing I thought of is, in similar to what you're talking about with the esports, they do rent the theaters out. They do it for like corporations here and there, and they have special events every once in a while. Like a viewing of Hamilton or whatever. Make it a consistent thing and advertise it. Because the only time I ever see that there's a special event in the theater is when I'm at the theater. I never hear about it anywhere else. I don't see it on social media. I don't see it anywhere else. So you need to have themed nights for pick 2 theaters in your multiplex. One is always, Monday it's Broadway night. Bring Broadway to people in Nebraska who can't get to New York City.
Yeah, I like that.
Show them, and then have Tuesday be music nights, great concerts that are only available at the theater.
Yeah.
Metallica or Lady Gaga or who, it doesn't matter.
Right.
Tim McGraw, it doesn't matter. Make it, but every Tuesday night, we're gonna have a different concert that you can only see here. So you get to watch a concert in a communal environment.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that would be, have themed nights with different content to make, again, you got to make your theater a destination.
Yeah.
And movies just aren't enough anymore.
No, I tell you what, I really, really like that. And I hadn't thought of the immersive music experience. I think that's a great idea. And the Broadway piece kind of goes in with building in intermissions, right? So, and then I guess really from my perspective, the corporate events and sponsorships, which you just mentioned, I think I would create a team that worked, because you mentioned it. Like, while I know that's a thing, but in my mind, it's always like somebody in the company, XYZ company reaching out to the theater to make it happen, as opposed to the other way around. I think I would kind of reverse engineer that to try and get more corporate events at.
And the way they do that, talk to your local professional sports team that have an arena that's used 60 times a year. What do they do?
Yeah.
I mean, how do they fill those other nights with other things? Right.
Yeah.
Maybe I think there's a million things. So the last one I have, Kirby, and I don't know if you have any more than this. I would get a team together, and my only thing to them would be, I need you to give pricing in enema. I want it completely different. And my thought would be this: charge more for the movie. So similar to the variable pricing, but it's a flat rate. This is no more matinees. This is the price of the movie. I don't care if you see it at 10 in the morning. I don't care if you see it at 10 at night. And jack it up to $30 a ticket. I don't care. But then you charge, or you give away free. Maybe you give popcorn away free. I find it offensive when we were at the theater on Saturday. I got a large Coke and a large popcorn, and it was $22.
Yeah, that's absurd.
I know the profit margins off the chain on that, and I know that's how actually they make most of their money. Flip that. Charge me for the content, not the stuff I can say no to. Right. Charge me for the stuff that you're really there for. Because honestly, the popcorn was terrible. Again, because they didn't have enough employees. I had to go ask 4 people for popcorn salt. 4 people for popcorn salt.
Yeah.
So charge more for the movies, but keep food costs like that. Food costs way down. So, I don't know. It just drives me nuts the way the pricing structure works. It's upside down. It's wrong. And I think it turns people off.
Yeah.
Our tickets for the movie were like $17, which I still thought was a little high, but that's okay. But then when we added all the food, it's like, you got to be kidding me. It's $10 just for a Coke and $10 for popcorn. So I think the pricing structure needs to be very transparent. This is the cost of the movie. And maybe in a matinee, it's free popcorn. Every other time it's $2, which you'd still make a killing on profit margin for a large popcorn for $2, by the way.
Yeah.
But it doesn't feel like you're bleeding me as a customer.
No, I like that a lot. And I think the other place, I know that they have the clubs, like, the subscription model. I think
I would like Club Stub and all that stuff.
Yeah. I think leaning on that subscription model for VIPs would be interesting. Right. So if you talk about the idea of whether it's discounted tickets or discounted food or whatever it is, as a part of having that recurring revenue, that would be really interesting. And it would incentivize you coming to more shows. And but the idea, I like what you're saying about the pricing. And so I guess I'm trying to partner my final idea with your final idea to say, how do we how do we say that we make pricing just make more sense? Because you're right.
Yeah.
Because it's funny. I go to a local theater here, and we know the person that owns it, and I go there to support her, and she constantly is letting me in for free, and I'm like, no, I don't want. I want to pay.
Right.
She's going to make money on popcorn and stuff. And I'm like, I don't really want popcorn, but now I have to buy it.
Now you have to buy popcorn.
That's right.
You're there to see a movie. I've never gone to the movies so I could get some really kick-ass popcorn.
Right.
Stop thinking that way, theaters. Seriously. Yeah. And I know that some theaters have tried the club model. I just don't think they've implemented it properly. I like the idea of this. I love movies, so I need some sort of VIP privilege. And so what they've done at AMC that hasn't worked, I mean, silly things. You have a special line in the concession stand, so you get your expensive popcorn faster.
Yeah, that's right.
I mean, stuff like that is dumb. Or you get a free movie on Tuesday afternoon. I don't know about you, Kirby. Generally, I'm working Tuesday afternoon. It doesn't work out well. So again, they have this. It's like they're building these type of models to make money on services you're never going to use.
Right.
And that mean very little to you.
Well, I like it, man. And I think the one final thought, and it was really just off of something you said when you talked about having the themed night. I'm wondering if there's a classic movie night as well.
Absolutely.
Because I think I would, if Bull Durham was showing and I was a member and it was like, let's go watch that again. I don't know. That might be another way.
You could have a whole summer of Steven Spielberg. So maybe for four straight Tuesday nights, you have the Indiana Jones series, or you have Jaws, or whatever. There are so many things they could do. And meanwhile, it just seems like they're sitting there going, hey, if we charge more for a Snickers bar, we're going to hit our number this month. And I don't, it's the movie theater. Like I said, I was so turned off leaving Saturday. I don't want to go back. I mean, the seats were, there's a lady 2 seats down. She kept checking her phone. That was frustrating. I don't have to deal with that at home. So, all right. So we're going to keep doing this every once in a while. Again, it's when we feel like it. Or if you, our dear listener in Nebraska, if you have an idea, if there's a company you'd say, I'd love Kirby and Bill to kind of look at that. What would they do to save this company? And it's just something we're going to do from time to time. But, it's something we're always going to do, though. When it's time to dream about fantastic drinkware, we're going to wake up because that dream came true, baby. It's Tervis. It's Tervis all day, every day, right? All day, every day. They have the 20 ounce, 30 ounce stainless steel tumblers. I'm holding one right here, this 30 ounce. I love this thing. It's kind of my best friend. I'm not going to lie. It doesn't talk back to me. It's full of color and all that. The stainless tumblers are manufactured from that premium grade copper, aligned 18-8 steel, the double wall construction with the vacuum seal. It's matched with the splash-proof, shatterproof lid right here, made from the Triton plastic, keeps ice cold. We know this for 24 hours. And honestly, I think it's a little bit more than that. And it keeps hot drinks piping hot so you can scald your friend for 8 hours. Without the abominable price, and it's got that lifetime guarantee. You really can't go wrong with Tervis. And in Q2, they're doing something super, super special for everybody. They're offering both the 20 ounce and 30 ounce stainless steel tumbler at below EQP. Not only that would be enough. That should be enough to flood them with orders, but there's more, right? We talked about this. There's more if you go to tervispromos.com on April 1st. They are not only doing that, there are no setup charges and low minimum order quantities. So you can check out that special offer beginning April 1st at tervispromos.com. You won't be sorry you did. Thank you, Tervis, for sponsoring this platinum level broadcast. Kirby, I hope you enjoy this podcast, and I look forward to seeing you not at the movies.